Hi there, Japan fans. In today's show, we are talking about the Q&A. Present, Master Shimashou. This is the 5th year of the Presentation Japan Series podcast. We are beaming around the world to you from sunny Minato-ku in Tokyo. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guide committed to your success, the president of Dale Carnegie Training Tokyo, Japan, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery. My new book, in Japanese, Za Eigyo, is now available on Amazon. Become a better speaker who is clear, confident, persuasive, and highly influential with those around you. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn, who, unlike many other podcast hosts, have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on iTunes. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesdays, the Presentations Japan Series. Every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan Series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan Series. Every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show. And Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. This is episode number 275. Today we're talking about handling the Q&A. The Q&A is a great chance to clarify any points which were not clear to the audience. This is an opportunity to really reinforce some points we made in the talk to make them even more impactful with the audience. We can also draw on our reserve power and add extra content which we couldn't include in the speech. Apart from when we were mingling with our audience before the talk starts, this is the next opportunity to interact with our listeners. We have to take some precautionary steps to prepare for the Q&A. When we are designing the talk, we have to think of the likely questions we may get so that we are well prepared to answer them. We also have to understand that the Q&A is like a street fight. There are no rules. Members of the audience can argue with us, call us a charlatan, debate with us, and dismiss everything we have said. People can also ask us anything they like, however off topic. There are a couple of steps we need for dealing with hostile audiences. From the very start, we should clearly state how long we have for questions. We may find the hostile audience is quite hard to deal with, and then we suddenly say we have to go. We look like a coward running away. Once we've stated the time limit for questions, we can just say we've now reached the end of question time. And then we can go into our second close and leave with our dignity intact. After stating the time limit of questions, we say, who has the first question? This is a subtle hint that we're expecting a lot of questions. If we don't get any questions, we just say, a question I'm often asked is, then we state our own question and then we answer it. Usually, this gives people in the audience the courage to ask their question because the ice has been broken. The type of people who go after a speaker are trying to show everyone how clever and tough they are. When we receive this type of question, we look straight at the person, but try not to move our head. In polite society, we sometimes nod when people ask a question to give them encouragement, but we don't want to look like we are agreeing with them and the thesis of their hostile question. Find out more. We come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public programs, but we also do custom-made in-house classes. Now, we do them in our super safe classroom, we do them live online, and we do them in Japanese, and we do them in English. Our show today is being sponsored by, on the 8th of February, we have our Confident English program. On the 14th of February, Leadership Training for Managers. On the 16th of February, the Dale Carnegie course, the 3-day immersion version. On the 4th of March, we have our Dale Carnegie course, the 12-week version. And then on the 9th of March, we have the 8-week Winning with Relationships selling program. Check out our website at www.dale, D-A-L-E, hyphen, Carnegie, C-A-R-N-E-G-I-E, .co.jp. Lots and lots of value for you there. Now, to do better in Japan, email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Get my best-selling books, Japan Sales Mastery, that's the Bible for selling in Japan, and Japan Business Mastery, and my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery. If you like learning by watching videos, there are over 1,000 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, which is the premier business show in Japan, comes out Mondays. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show, and Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders in Japan from SMEs all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. Don't forget, you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Welcome back. We look straight at the person, no nodding, and just hear them out. We keep calm because we know we have a surefire way of dealing with hostile questioners. Once they've finished, we stop looking at them and now look at the rest of the audience. We paraphrase what they have said. We do this in a special way. We take all the sting out of the question. For example, if they said, "Is it true that your company is going to fire 10% of the workforce just before the end of the year when it's impossible to find another job?" If it wasn't a hostile question, we could just repeat it because often people sitting in other parts of the audience couldn't hear what the question was saying. We absolutely do not want to say, the question was, is it true we're going to sack 10% of the staff before the end of the year? Instead, we paraphrase and purposely weaken the invective. We could say, the question was about staffing. Now we turn back to face our hostile questioner. By paraphrasing, we've given ourselves between 5 to 10 seconds to consider how best to answer the question. We proceed to give the first 6 seconds of the answer while maintaining eye contact with our questioner. After that, we never give them any eye contact again for the rest of the event. They feed off attention. So we now strategically cut off their supply of attention and we look at the other audience members and talk to them. We keep making 6 seconds of eye contact with the others in the audience until we finish. The hostile questioner becomes deflated because they're not getting any of the limelight and attention they seek. The other people attending the event will be amazed at how professionally you handle the situation, which they know, had it been them, they would have had no idea what to do. Our personal and professional brands have just been elevated. We now say, who has the next question? If it is not hostile, we can repeat the question so that everyone can hear it and then we can answer it. Again, We start the answer by directing our eye contact to the person asking the question, and then move our eye contact to others in the room for about 6 seconds each. If we want a bit more time to think about our answer, we can insert a pause, or we might use a cushion. This is a brief, neutral statement that buys us think time. For example, we could say, "Thank you. I'm glad you've raised that point." Now, we wrap things up by saying, "We have time for one final question. Who has the last question?" We answer it, and then we go into our second close. Generally speaking, we want our answers to be concise so that more people can interact with us by asking questions. It is also advisable to be brief because we'll get ourselves into less trouble with our answers. Thank you for joining the Presentations Japan series. If you got value from today's show, spread the love around and share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Immediately apply what you have learned today, use it, and go out there and become a presentations legend. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.